The richest man in the world is making big moves these days, and one of them is the recent successful launches at SpaceX. They haven't always been at the top, but a slew of launches just made headlines. In this video, we'll be taking a look at SpaceX's 3 launched missions over a span of 36 hours, so stay tuned. First up, how SpaceX evolved into a powerhouse that manages back-to-back launches. Elon Musk is known for the success of his companies, and SpaceX is no exception. It consists of some of the most reliable rockets with a success rate of nearly 94%. Only 10 out of 157 SpaceX rocket launches have failed. And even from this, not all of them were complete failures. Just last year, the company managed to actually land a rocket. It was one of the biggest milestones in space travel, as professionals hoped that one day they would be able to make launching rockets more cost efficient. It is well known that the secret to success is to never stop trying. If you reach your goal, make another one. After over 145 launches, SpaceX recently decided to break even more records. It is going to launch a total of 3 launches, which is not a big deal in itself, but the launch pads are at different sites. Not to mention, all of the launches will be done within 36 hours. This will be the fastest sequence of back-to-back missions ever since the 3 launches between the 31st of January and 3rd of February at the start of the year. The event, which started on the 17th of June, was completed, making it history's fastest 3 missions by any commercial launch company. Next up, SpaceX's 3 successful launches from 3 destinations in 3 days. The first mission consisted of the launch of 53 Starlink internet satellites. Their starting point was Pad 39A in NASA Kennedy Space Center, Florida. Falcon 9, which supposedly already has 12 missions down, did not disappoint. Its first stage was back to Earth in about 10 minutes. The next morning, it was followed by a radar satellite for the German military. It was launched from California's Vandenberg Space Force Base. Within 36 hours of the first one, another satellite, this time a commercial communication one, will once again be launched in Florida from a different station, the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. The same people who are celebrating the success of a new record were celebrating the first successful landing of Falcon 9 only 7 years ago. So it's safe to say SpaceX has come far, especially considering the recovery of boosters from both land and sea. Of course, the company had already planned its next move. They yet again launched a satellite for the German military. SAR-AH-1, which was built by Airbus, is a synthetic aperture radar remote sensing satellite, and following the success of their recent mission, it was launched on the 18th of June from the Californian launch point at Vandenberg Space Force Base. Thirdly, some SpaceX milestones as they continue changing the world. Moving back to Florida after yet another launch, they are hoping to uphold their 93% success rate by launching Globalstar FM-15, which is a spare satellite for Globalstar's messaging and data relay satellite network. The mission was on the 19th of June, Sunday, launching from SpaceX's private pad at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. After all this, a few days ago, SpaceX completed another successful mission. To help in providing the complete coverage of Earth, CEO of SpaceX Elon Musk launched another mission to polar orbit on the 10th of July. Sometime after the 2-staged Falcon 9 launched from California, the first stage was recovered at sea by a SpaceX drone. The 29th launch of 2022 from Vandenberg Space Force Base was SpaceX's 50th Starlink satellite launch. Elon Musk's aim is to provide Earth with complete coverage, and so his company has launched about 2,600 Starlink satellites, 2,300 of which are still active, and in no way does he plan to stop there. Nearly 2 months ago, Musk tweeted that in 18 months, there will be 4,200 Starlink satellites active. This brings their number up to 2/3 of all satellites of Earth in operation. Finally, Starlink's launching so many satellites, it's causing trouble for astronomers. Starlink satellites improve the reliability and average speed of SpaceX's Starlink service. Its services are available in only 32 countries as of now, but this won't be the case by next year. The rapidly increasing availability will expand to cover space as much as Africa in little to no time, and soon the whole Earth. SpaceX Starlink satellites are doing their work quite impressively. They may as well be providing the fastest available internet even in Ukraine, despite the fact it's currently at war. There are about 150,000 users connecting to top-class services for free, but not all's good. It has started to face criticism for the number of satellites that are being launched because, well, 2,600 satellites are a lot. It has started to interfere with the work of astronomers, and that isn't even the main problem. Even NASA, its business partner, is turning against this, and for a good reason, as it is estimated that if this continues, it may disrupt the detection of asteroid collisions. Still, Starlink will soon have competitors, because Amazon's planning Project Kuiper, where they'll have 84 launches for their own satellite internet constellation. Now in other news. First up, Elon Musk versus Twitter battle intensifies as latter gears up to sue. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, has attempted to scratch the $44 billion deal to buy Twitter Inc. This could result in him attaining an even stronger financial position than before the deal was conducted, due to an increase in sales of Tesla stock. Twitter and Musk might face a long legal battle, costing billions of dollars due to Musk scrubbing the 25th of April agreement to buy the social media platform. Twitter has stated that it will make Musk make good on his promise. Whatever the end result is, Musk now has $8.5 billion gained from the sale of Tesla shares to pay for the acquisition of Twitter. Musk sold $9.6 million worth of shares of Tesla around the price of $885 per share in the last week of April. Despite this seemingly advantageous position, if he was to lose the lawsuit, he might end up in a much worse situation. If he lost the legal battle, he'd be forced to pay a large penalty or complete his acquisition of Twitter. This would result in him having to sell more shares of Tesla, which might worry investors and hurt the value of his remaining Tesla stake. Tesla shares decreased 6.5% on Monday. Next, Lori Garver says bro culture may scare off SpaceX employees. Lori Garver, formerly deputy administrator at NASA, has warned that SpaceX might face difficulties if it doesn't fix its bro culture. She said that rockets don't build themselves and that the best and brightest will not deal with behavior that's an unnecessary distraction. She insisted that bro culture succeeded in the past because the majority of the engineers were white males, though that's not the case any longer, and we benefit from all people and all views. Garvey says that she is disappointed to hear reports of employees about their concerns about SpaceX's work culture. SpaceX employees wrote a letter to Gwynne Shotwell, the company president, last month, criticizing Elon Musk's behavior as a source of distraction and embarrassment. The next day, several of the employees that helped to organize the letter were fired. The letter contained references to Musk's tweet as well as a recent sexual misconduct allegation against him. After a former flight attendant accused Musk of sexually harassing her, the company had to pay her $250,000. Musk claimed that there was a lot more to the story. Later, he joked about the allegations on Twitter, saying if he engaged in such activities, it would be unlikely that this was the first time it came to light in his 30-year career. Lastly, here's what SpaceX's Super Heavy booster looks like. Recently, the programmatic environmental assessment with the FAA was passed by SpaceX, although they recommended many corrective actions. After having passed this hurdle, SpaceX continued on to prepare the Starship and Super Heavy prototypes for their orbital test flight. The company posted pictures on its Twitter showing the Starship and Super Heavy booster, outfitted with all Raptor engines on the 2nd of July, Saturday. They used 33 Raptors for the BN7 and 6 for SN24 to take them to space. The pictures of the BN7's engines show its 33 Raptor 2 engines, optimized for sea level, arranged in 2 concentric circles with 3 clustered in the center. The Starship's engines include 3 Raptor 2s arranged around an outer ring, and 3 Raptor vacuum engines arranged in a cluster in the center. This shows the newest configuration for the completely reusable Super Heavy launch system, which will be entirely stacked for the orbital flight test. This test will have the BN7 booster and SN24 launch together from the spaceport and separate 170 seconds after taking flight, based on previous filings. The booster element will perform a soft landing in the sea nearly 20 miles away from Texas's shoreline. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think the future holds for SpaceX? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.